So let's take it right back to the start. What did childhood look like for you? Because you grew up in Northwest, right?
Yeah, I grew up in Northwest London, Kensal Green. Went to school there. But yeah.
Remind me where you went? Brit school?
I went Brit school, yeah, for college.
Nice.
But then my secondary school was called QPCS.
So I know, like, when we last spoke and you were telling me about kind of how you got into music, it was just a sick story. So can you just remind me, like, relay how you started, like, working on your own stuff and, yeah, the whole thing with Ash, like, how that came about?
From, like, a young age, obviously I've always been into music because my parents are very into music.
Okay.
But I picked up the guitar in primary school, and like I tried to learn it. I wasn't too good, and then I kind of just parked it off for a bit. Parked it off for a while actually, and then like when I was like 10, I must have fractured my foot, right?
Okay.
My mom had GarageBand on her laptop.
Okay.
So I just used that to pass my time.
Okay.
Spent a lot of time on that. And I learned how to use it, and I was like, alright, cool, I can do stuff on this now. And then I just forgot about it. As soon as my foot healed, forgot about it. I was back outside.
Yeah, you were like, GarageBand who?
Running around, you get me. And I completely forgot about all that. Fast forward to like 2015, 2016 now. I kind of like started thinking about it again. I kind of got into like making my own little beats and like putting them up on SoundCloud.
Still on GarageBand?
No, this is now on Logic.
Okay.
Because someone gave me Logic and it kind of re-sparked that kind of interest in making music. So Ash started rapping, and he was uploading like voice notes on SoundCloud, like voice memos of him rapping. I guess the music kind of just made us a lot closer because he'd come back to mine after school and we'd make music. As all friendship groups do, you kind of have your own like lingo and like words you've made up.
Yeah.
So we started like incorporating that into our music as well, and we were just having fun with it. And then one day it just kind of caught on, and people actually like we started to almost develop like a little fan base. Nothing huge, but we had a circle of people there who were asking us regularly release music, and then it kind of turned into a thing where it's like, okay, cool. So if people like this, if like 10 people like this, then 100 people are gonna like it. And it kind of just fueled us to actually start making more music. So we then put out a project on Spotify called ASHLONDO, and that did really well for us, like considering the journey
everything. So far. So how old were you guys when you put that out?
I must have been like 17.
That's so young when you think about it, to just be putting something out and then it to like perform well.
And then I went off to uni and we both broke off, kind of did our own thing. Ash made another project, I was like working on stuff as well, and then we made another project, and like the ball just kept rolling. We've constantly been growing from when we started, and it's like it's been slow and steady, but the people who listen to us, I feel like, are very like loyal to us.
Yeah. You mentioned that your like family has been into music, so that's kind of planted the seed like from early.
Yeah.
What kind of artists were your parents into? What's like the first memory you have of liking a tune?
You know what? Like my parents listened to a lot of like Ibiza chill out music.
Okay.
I'm talking about like Cafe Del Mar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when I hear that music, it gives me some like feeling of nostalgia, and I feel like I get a lot of, even listening back to all that sort of music now.
Yeah.
Because I've recently actually gotten into it myself. It actually makes me realise how much inspiration I took from it, and a lot of like kind of maybe the chord progressions or even drum patterns that I now use. I got from there, but I didn't even realise.
That's the thing though, it's subconscious, I feel like, a lot of the time. Like you just pick up on these things. Even sometimes when you discover music, like there's definitely been times I say to my mum like, oh, like have you heard this song? And she's like, yeah, I used to play that all the time when you were younger. And I'm like, oh, okay. It must be a bit of a full circle to now be making music, and I'm sure your mum and dad are really proud of you as well. Yeah. Cute. You're making them proud, so cute.
Making them proud.
I love that. If you could go back and give your younger self a piece of advice, maybe at the start when you were putting stuff out, it was flopping or whatever, or you were like, yeah, and now being in the position you're in, yeah, what would you say?
I don't know, because like I feel like if I changed anything, it would change.
That's what Kobe said as well.
Really?
That's so mad. Yeah.
If I change anything, it would change where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to change where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
you know?
of course.
So like, I mean, it's not like I've made it, but
no, yeah, but from where you were at the start, yeah,
I'm
for
happy
sure.
and I'm doing what I love. So I actually don't think I would say anything to myself to change anything.
Okay, moving on to like right now. So you've recently released your project, ASHLONDO 3.
Yeah.
What's that process been like?
It's been good. It's been a good process actually. It was the songs date back to 2020.
Okay. Wow.
But we didn't decide we were gonna make it until like 2 years ago. And then I spoke to Ash and I was like, you know what? Like, we looked at all the songs we'd had so far and we were like, you know what? It's actually making sense. Like, we have a lot of music and not really anywhere to put it.
Yeah.
So it just did make sense. We were like, yeah, like, I think it's actually time to drop ASHLONDO 3. Which was weird because like I always said, when people asked me, I always said, nah, like it's not happening. Like, and if it does, it will be in like 10 years time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just because like, I feel like don't want to like kind of tire out the kind of whole ASHLONDO thing. You know? But then we decided like, nah, this is good because now we can end the chapter of ASHLONDO.
Yeah. And
do something new and move on to something new and kind of like develop our sound even more.
Obviously working with the same person as well across that scale of time, how do you feel like your sound together has progressed and the way that you make music together?
I feel like it's just come with us maturing and just being interested in new music, other music that inspires us, kind of having new life experiences and also working with other people. We kind of like exchange kind of knowledge.
Yeah.
And it's like, so I feel like just with growing and doing more things, going to more sessions, meeting more people, making more music, just constantly learning and evolving our sound, you know?
Yeah, for sure. So, which project out of all the ones you've done has been your favourite?
For me, obviously, favourite in terms of like production.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
And music is ASHLONDO 3.
Oh, okay. That wasn't what I thought you were going to say.
That's my favourite because it's like, it's really big for me and Ash. Like, it's like, it's such a big like kind of like step.
Yeah.
For me anyway, like I feel like the sound, it's like the sound that we were trying to create when we started, but then in terms of actually creating and like the process, I'd actually say thanks Londo.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
Because of the way I made that project. I made it over the course of 2 years. I was at uni and I was like, I've never pushed myself so much. Like, I was doing my degree and I really wanted to drop out. I was going back to London and I was just working, because I was in Nottingham. I was going back to London and I was just doing bare sessions, and then I'd go back to Nottingham, I'd study, and I'd go back to London. It was like, it was so hectic.
Yeah, that's a lot to balance.
It just felt like, I don't know. When I look back on it, it was like I really loved that time. So like when I hear Thanks Londo, it kind of just reminds me of that whole like process of like, I'd come back to Nottingham like pissed off because I got to work, but I've made a new song and I'm listening to it on repeat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It's the feeling I get from that is, yeah. There's things I tell myself, but I don't know what I need to hear. Like the main thing that I always say to myself is, comparison is the thief of joy. I love that saying.
Yeah.
Not that I don't really find myself comparing myself to people that much. You know, you can't help it sometimes. You'll see something and you're like, fuck, why am I not doing that?
Yeah.
I need to do that. And then you start putting pressure on yourself to then do that, and then you're like, wait, but they're not doing this. Like,
exactly.
You know, it's basically stay in your lane, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, gotta stay, you can't do everything. Like, I can't, you know, there's only so many things you can do.
It's so true. And I was saying this I was speaking with my flatmate actually about this, because I think, especially with social media, when you're like connected to the community and seeing what everyone else is doing, it can be like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is obviously sick. Everyone's doing this, but It's just human nature sometimes to compare yourself.
Of course.
Like no two people are the same.
Exactly.
And everyone's on their own journey, and everything falls into place as and when it should. Amen.
I feel like artists I'd love to work with, I don't know how it would work, but I'd love to see what I'd make with WizKid.
Okay.
I
think that would be a vibe.
I feel like that could be sick. Producer-wise, Madlib. Definitely Madlib. Madlib is, I'd love to see how he works. Alchemist as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two, like, I'd love to work with. That would be sick.
Sick. Manifest it. Do you think that you found your purpose in music?
I know what my purpose is right now, but I don't know if that will always be my purpose.
Yeah.
I feel like your purpose always changes, you know. It's weird. There are days where I wake up and I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is how I'm gonna do it. And there's days where I wake up and I'm just lost, and I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, shit, this might not work out. What do I have to fall back on? You know what I mean?
When you have a circle that supports you so wholeheartedly as well, you do become like really self-believing, which is amazing. But then occasionally something will kind of like pop that bubble and you're like, oh, wait, like my ambitions are really big. Like, what if this doesn't work out? But I think it will work out. What do you envision your I made it moment to look like in the future? Because it could look like a lot of different things. So however you interpret that. My
I made it moment is when I have my own studio, living off what I do and being happy with it.
Yeah.
That's literally, that's my I made it moment.
Period. Me too, actually. Okay, so now I'm going to give you an opportunity to say a message to your future self, which feels a bit weird, but you will be watching this back one day. However long down the line, what do you want to say?
To my future self?
Yeah.
I hope you didn't give up, bro. Literally, I hope you didn't give up.
Aww.
I'm not giving up.
No.
I'm not giving up. No way.
You're going to get him there, so thank you.
You're welcome. How about that? You're welcome. That's what I say to my future self.
And then to round us out, what advice would you give to younger black creatives trying to come up, trying to do their thing, that maybe need a bit of guidance?
Well, don't listen to negative stuff from people, because people will say negative stuff to you until you're shining, basically. And like, it's like kind of like a catch-22, you know, because it's like you're gonna get hated on and people are gonna laugh at, you know, your music could be sick, but if you're not getting like views or whatever, even if you are getting views, people are gonna hate on you because people are haters, especially in this city. This city is full of haters.
Yeah, it's true.
It's filled with haters. But as soon as you start doing well, them same people are gonna be coming back and claiming that they know you and all sorts of shit, like, you know. So just don't give up, and don't take negativity. Be positive.
Aww, lovely. I think that's everything. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Really appreciate that.
Bad.
Sorry, I'm sweaty
Sweating.
too, but thank you so much for that.